Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I recently learned a little bit more about YouTube algorithms, so I changed my channel's name to reflect my personal journey in hopes to reach a larger audience, helping more people. So, welcome to Addiction to Redemption. For those of you who are new here, we are working the 12 steps using the Life Recovery Bible, 12-step devotionals, and my personal answers from the Life Recovery Workbook. I encourage everyone to answer the questions yourselves as well. Today's Bible reading is Numbers chapter 23, verses 18 through 24. Step 3. We made a decision to turn our wills and our lives over to the care of God. It's not uncommon to link our perceptions about God to our childhood experiences with people who played powerful roles in our lives. If we have been victimized in the past by people who were abusive, distant, uncaring, or just incompetent, we may now anticipate these qualities in God. Just because God is a power greater than we are, and the people who victimize us represented a power greater than we are, we must not conclude that God will harm us if we entrust our lives to Him. Jesus tells us that He didn't entrust Himself to people because He knew what was in their hearts. Nevertheless, He voluntarily turned His life over to the will of God, the Father. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in people. Psalms 118, verse 8. We may have learned in the past that putting confidence in people brings only pain and disappointment. We can't let this keep us from ever trusting again. In working through step 3, we can make a healthy decision to turn our wills and our lives over to the only one worthy of being trusted. The Bible tells us God is not a man, so He does not lie. He is not human, so He does not change His mind. Numbers chapter 23, verse 19. And God has said, I will never fail you. I will never abandon you. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. We know that we can't make it alone, but now we can stop being the victim. We can turn our lives over to someone who is really able to care for our needs. Questions. What in my life has taught me not to trust God? I was very angry for a long time. When I was a young child, I was tormented and abused by my first stepfather. In my young mind, I felt like my family knew about this abuse and allowed it to go on. I felt alone for as long as I can remember, never really being able to trust anyone. This lasted even into my adulthood. Unfortunately, this really set the pace of my life in so many negative ways, as childhood trauma often does. The adults in my life who taught me about God were some of the same adults who I felt allowed this abuse to take place. So therefore, it was always hard for me to trust in God. In fact, I didn't come to fully trusting in God until I was introduced to Life Recovery and started working these 12 steps. I've since dealt with my childhood trauma by recognizing it and speaking about it out loud and having forgiven everyone involved, including the man who abused me all those years ago. Through the grace of God, I realized that everyone has their problems. It's hard to empathize with those that abuse us or cause us pain. But when we look inside ourselves and think of the pain that we've caused others, it's really hard to hold a grudge against anyone. God forgives us all. He sent His only Son to die for our sins so that we may be forgiven. He was ridiculed, tortured, made to carry His own cross, and executed so that His blood may wash away our sins. God did all of this for us. Knowing that, forgiving others, even the man whose abuse had such a negative impact on my life, it's pretty easy to do. Trusting in God makes it pretty easy to do. 2. What have I done to cause others not to trust me? I've done so many things in my life to hurt others and to cause them not to trust me. We'd be here all day if I listed them all. To sum them up, lying, being unfaithful in relationships, even in my marriage, acting out violently, not showing up, using drugs, and repeatedly being in and out of jail and prisons. I'm not proud of it. What is the truth? 3. What keeps me from surrendering to God? Now I have surrendered to God, but it took me a long time to get here. Before, I don't even think it was my past. I don't think I thought to myself, oh, I was abused as a child, so I'm not going to surrender to God. I think I just wasn't ready until now. The same goes for being sober. I just wasn't ready to be sober before. In step 1, we admit that we're powerless. In step 2, we come to believe that a power greater than ourselves exists and can restore us to sanity. But in step 3, we start the action steps. In step 3, we make a conscious decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God. This is when we say, I want to stop living this way. I want to be a better person. I want to stop hurting myself and my loved ones. I no longer want to be a slave to my addiction. I want sobriety, but I can't do this on my own. Jesus, take the wheel. God, save me from myself. Allow me to become the best version of myself by living for not my own will, but by your will. Show me the path I must take. Thank you for joining me on my journey. Please help me reach others by liking this video and hitting that subscribe button. God bless you. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay sober, and remember, take it one day at a time.